Honorable Koech, what do you think? Because there's been all these questions. Senate made a decision just before midnight. A Gazette notice was out. Clearance was sought from KRA, HELB, IBC, sought and received. And by 10 a.m., communication had been received and was being made on the floor of the House of the decision of the President. What happened to that efficiency?
First, how do we find ourselves here? You know, why did we have this 2010 Constitution in the first place? 1998 to 1999, this country had a situation where the former President Moi and decided that he was not going to have a vice president. To cure that, and it took almost a year for this country to have a vice president. To cure that, there was a provision in the Constitution, Article 145 to Article 150, to cure a situation where the country is left in a situation where there is no deputy president. We find ourselves in this situation. And I really want to laud all the agencies that have been working so fast to make sure that that office is filled as fast as possible.
Yes.
I will tell you the reason. The issue of a deputy president is not a small issue. It's an extremely weighty issue. To have a deputy president and not to have a deputy president are extremely serious issues for our country. You do not want to imagine what will happen in a situation where you do not have a president and you do not have a deputy president. Of course, the constitutions are provided for what could happen. But my view is that we need to fill that position as fast as possible. Honorable Mugatana has told you, we in the National Assembly dispensed of the matter within the period of 60 days. Perfectly okay. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. The president also nominated, as stipulated in the Constitution, within 14 days, his preferred deputy president. Parliament went further to vote. You know, overwhelmingly, 80% of members of Parliament voted in support of his nominee. And in my view, he should be in office.
What do you mean 80%?
Over 80% of members of Parliament voted in support of his nominee.
No, they didn't.
What percentage was it?
You tell me.
And even it must be constituency.
It is.
236 is just over 66%.
Two-thirds of the national.
So that's not 80%.
Sorry,
but carry on.
I meant two-thirds. So in my view, Sam, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. There's no time stipulated, even in what the argument that my friend Mheshimiwa Kashiri is saying of a government printer working at night. That is how effective our government printer is.
I wish they were effective. I wish they were effective doing development.
Because
doing the roads.
We cannot cherry pick.
Please, you spoke in.
I wish they were that efficient.
We cannot cherry pick on how we want what we want in the Constitution, what we want good in the Constitution for ourselves, and what we do not want. I'll tell you. During the removal of Governor Sonko, it happened. Actually, the swearing in of Governor Sonko, let me even start with Honorable Waititu. Governor Waititu was impeached on a Wednesday. He was supposed to have been sworn in on a Thursday. But then the judges were not ready. He was sworn in on a Friday. Governor Sonko is the same thing. He was impeached, I think, in 2020. Today, he was sworn in the next day. That is what happens because people.
No, it didn't happen like that. I think there was no deputy governor. So what happened is what was the name of the speaker? The speaker had to assent to that.
That
up until something happened.
Yes,
one Kananu became that she was validly
the gazettement happened that night. So precedence has been set, and that is...
So that is fine. The question here is, because the President in his communication says that he got clearance from IBC, KRA, EACC, DCI, HELB, Commission on University Education, Commission for University Education. I mean, these officers, they are public servants. They work 8 to 5. When was this clearance sought?
IBC, in my view, before I even go to how it was done at night, and who tells you it was done at night, might have been done at
so tell me, the vacancy only occurred after
in the morning. In my view, IBC, and I really want to follow on what, I'm not a lawyer, but let me say this, in my view. When we seek election as members of Parliament, we normally do not appear before the commissioners. We simply get a secretariat that approves, and you go.
Who has
That
appointed that
stamps.
secretariat that you appeared before?
There is an secretariat in office now.
The question I'm asking...
For me, IBC...
Sorry, Mheshimiwa Koech, when you appear in Belgut to take your papers there for nomination as a Member of Parliament candidate, the returning officer, who has appointed that returning officer?
But now the returning officer then here will be...
Let's just answer the question.
The clerk of the
who appoints the returning officer in Belgut?
By that time, it has
by
already been
IBC,
cleared.
but that is an election.
IBC commissioners.
For this case, sir, in my view, I think IBC's role was purely administrative.
No, it is.
Purely administrative.
So how does the president write to IBC?
Those are the things now that I mean, what will be an issue here, Sam?
Who manages the relationship between IBC and other state agencies? Is it Marjan Hussein Marjan?
Yes.
He's the chairman.
Well,
the returning officer for the presidential candidate is the chairman of IBC.
Yeah, so
allow him to finish.
So, in my view, you had asked me a question, but in my view, I was just giving my input on why
on IBC.
IBC's role is pure administrative.
So, are you bothered, by the way? You are a lawmaker. Are you bothered that there's no commission, or rather, there are no commissioners, and this decision has actually been received?
Extremely.
Confirmation.
Extremely.
You're bothered.
I am extremely bothered.
So,
with no constituency.
So then why would Parliament go ahead to consider a decision that is being confirmed by a body whose commission is not existent?
We are in the process of concluding that...
you already did. You voted on Professor Kindiki, didn't you?
No, that is different. I'm talking about IBC.
The decision you took when you voted for Professor Kindiki was on the premise that he had been cleared by IEBC.
By the Secretariat of IBC.
No, the communication says by IBC.
Let me ask you,
nevertheless,
Sam, yes.
Nevertheless, you have said that your returning officer in Belgut is appointed by the IBC. You believe the Secretariat, the management here, is competent enough to make that decision?
I believe, not even that, I believe that the process of clearing an individual, and like even Honorable Gachagua did say, this is a different situation. Okay? This is not an election.
All right. That's fine.
It is an election.
Even though your speaker, at the end of the vote, said that Professor Kithure Kindiki is now Deputy President-elect.
Yes.
But you got clearance from EACC, DCI, HELB, and CUE, offices that work 8 to 5. The decision by the Senate was just before midnight. When was this communication written to them, and when was it received?
Will it be wrong or probably unconstitutional if an officer of government was to clear anything outside their working hours?
At midnight?
I'm just asking you, will it be unconstitutional?
The regular working hours are 8 to 5.
Yeah, but
when were these officers mobilized?
I don't know. You know, you're talking of things that I do not know what time they happened.
So maybe that's the right answer, that you do not know.
Can I say something?
Yes, Senator.
When Honorable Speaker Wetangula was